Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Road to Nowhere podcast. This is the official episode 14, and we welcome you all once again. We are back, and it's been a while, so I'm very fucking rusty, um, but I've missed doing this. I know James has been kind of wanting to get back to doing this. I'm not taking a break from streaming again because holy crap, I am so rusty and my computer is not happy with me for it. So yeah, that break's done. Never again until I get a new. But moving on. No, for real. I've missed doing this a lot. I don't know. I know James, you haven't been streaming a lot recently. So I know that's due to just time, you know. You've been busy as hell. It's the holidays. What do you expect? Everyone got busy during the holidays. So but yeah, we're back and there is a lot to go over. My life has been interesting the last few weeks. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's going on in Jimmy's life. Um, I know you've been dealing with some stuff. There's stuff you definitely want to talk about on the show and stuff you will not talk about on the show. Um, yeah, it's a lot. So we're just gonna get right into it. How was your Christmas and New Year's, dude?
Christmas was great. I actually had Christmas off of work, which is, rare. Um, Santa Claus came, left my oldest a keyboard, so a Casio keyboard. So
Nice.
he had a chance to play music, and my youngest is like, I want to play it, I want to play it, I want to play it, and naturally, my oldest is like, no, get away from my stuff. So we actually went out yesterday and got a piano, or Jill's old piano from when she was growing up, and we brought it into the house last night. So now they both have keys that can, play. And
So there's tons of noise in the house.
well, not yet. There is, but usually I can keep it pretty mellow. So like when Clifton's playing keyboard, if he's doing it at the same time Trey wants to play the piano, he's in his room with the door closed and Trey's in the living room. And Trey actually is trying to make music. He's not just pounding on keys. And yeah, so I mean it's nice because I was showing him as you press a key and you hold it, it'll actually extend the note, and then you push another key, and if you hit the right note, it makes sounds go together. Actually, sounds like
Mhm.
music, and he was like,
Nice.
"Wow!" Kind of blew his mind. So he was doing that last night, this morning, actually creating music. So it was kind of nice. It's not a whole lot of
Nice.
just noise.
Right
Um,
on.
Yeah, for New Year's, I actually got to catch the New York ball drop at nine o'clock my time, and then my neighbors set off fireworks for that one. So I got fireworks show, and I got to have the midnight drop through New York. But then I was straight to bed at like 9, and and then
That
I woke up to go to work at 4:30, and my wife stayed up past midnight because our dogs are just like nope, 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 with all the exploding fireworks going off around us. And
that
she said that at midnight there was a lot. Normally we only
mhm,
have like 4 people around us that do it. There was a lot this time. Like there was
mhm,
many, many people who went to Arizona and grabbed fireworks and came back to California.
mhm. Did the same here.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, not the whole working at 4 in the morning shit, but, sounds like you had a good holiday.
Yeah, like it actually worked out okay to the aspect of um we had a job to do and we got it done in a timely manner. I work 4 10s technically, so we actually got it done in 7 hours,
So
and
you're
we
no
were
longer doing what you used to do. Like, going back a year ago, you were doing, one job where you work, and now you're doing a completely different job.
no. So I've actually been at my current job for exactly
No,
a
no, no,
little
I mean,
over a year now.
your position at the job.
No, it's the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I still have the same position. So like 2 years ago, I was a cashier at a casino. Now for the past year, I've been in the count room at a casino. So it's
Oh,
still
okay.
dealing with money, it's still doing all the basic stuff, but I don't have to deal with people anymore. And I have a job to do that's given to me. And when it's done, I can leave. Where before it's here's your money, pay people. All right, here's more money since you ran out of money, keep paying people. Oh, you ran out
Yeah.
of money again? Here's some more money, keep paying people. You know what I mean? So it's not that tedious keep going nonsense. It's if you work construction, your job is build this house. Okay. When the house is built, you're done. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot like that, you know, like I have a task and when it's done, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't have that luxury. I have the
Yeah.
tedious of it keeps coming and coming and oh man. I don't know why I chose this year to get back into working and let alone retail, but this was brutal. My body is still recovering. I'm still sore. Um, and what made it all worse the last 2 weeks is that my girlfriend's been sick, like super fucking sick to the point where she would be coughing so hard. You could hear her across the house and downstairs. And
Wow.
this went on and just forever until finally, after trying to self remedy, she went and saw the doctor. Doctor told her to, oh, it's just a man cold. You'll be fine. Get over it. No, it wasn't. She goes to sees another doctor a couple days later, like a week later, and the doctor's like, "No, you actually have something wrong. Here, take this." And now she's finally better. I'm like, 2 weeks of this crap, 3 weeks of this crap, and this is it took this happening for you to finally yeah. So it's been hellacious over here between working, her being sick, taking care of her, my brother getting sick, me getting sick. Yeah, it's been a very bad couple weeks, but Christmas came and I was excited for Christmas because for the first time in 15, 16 years, I was able to do like I was actually able to get the people I care about, the people I love, get them gifts. And while a lot of people go, Christmas isn't about gifts. Yeah, I'm not talking about receiving gifts, motherfuckers. I'm talking about giving them. I love to give the people I love the things that either I know they'll like or the things I know they want. Well,
Right.
I can't give everybody I know and care about what they want, so I had to get people things I knew they would like. And one of the gifts I gave was to my brother Eric. And you know this, James. He's a huge fan of Superman. Has been
Hmm.
for fucking forever.
Right.
Well, where I live, we have Hobby Lobby, and my girlfriend hates going there. She has her own issues with that. I don't give a shit. But they had this sign, and they had it last year. It was a big ass like poster sign. It's just Superman coming out of the phone booth. You can still see the remnants of his suit. I remember it very vividly. I was gonna get that for him. They didn't carry it anymore. I was so bummed. But then they had this smaller little square sign that's one of those, you move to the right, you move to the left, it changes the image. And I was
Right.
like, perfect. So we sent that and a bunch of other things to my brother down in San Diego. And the fucking post office sent it to the wrong goddamn house. It took about a week, but my brother was able to get all of that back. Nothing was damaged, everything was fine. But it was such a it
So
wasn't even a week, it was like 4 days, but it
was
was
he did
such a
he go
pain
to
in
the
the ass.
house to get it or
No,
did he
so
have the
he
post office stuff?
he went to the post office and we didn't have insurance on it. So when we shipped it, we didn't get the insurance. So if it had gone south, like if it was gone, like it just that's it, bye-bye. That's it. There's no like my brother's Christmas from me, my girlfriend, and Elliot is just toast. Like there's nothing there. And I was
Yeah.
so pissed about it because one, the money side of things, like all the stuff that we bought and shipping it wasn't cheap. Like I spent almost $500 on my family. That's including the shipping. And I'm like, if they don't get it, that's gonna piss me off. It's not even my brother's fault. It was the post office. Like they fucked up. So I was pissed about it for a couple days until finally my brother messaged me and he's like, "We got everything. It's fine. Everything's good. We're good." And a big sigh of relief because it just that that really pissed me off, especially because this all happened the week of Christmas. So on top of my brother's package situation going on, I don't I'd been taking money out of my checks early to cover groceries and other expenses we had in the house. And so come like
I
the
need a
day
quick
before Christmas
second.
Eve. Oh.
My wife's car's in the shop, and I think this is them.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna keep telling my story. You do your business. Um, but so I've got no money and I'm freaking out about it. And finally my check comes and I'm thinking it's gonna be like at least 300 bucks and I can get Christmas for my girlfriend and for my brother that live here. And yeah, my check was 150 bucks because I'd been taking out so much. I was just like, this is my own dumb fault. And so Christmas this year was probably the most stressful I've been in a really long time, but it was totally worth it. Like to see my brothers um here, Elliot, to see his reaction Christmas morning was awesome. To see my girlfriend's reaction because she's had significant others at Christmas and it's always her giving, never receiving, at least not from her significant other. So for her to finally have a Christmas where her significant other actually went out of their way to get her something she would like, that meant a lot to her. And so she was, very happy with her Christmas. I was happy with mine. I got the one thing I've wanted for like the last 2, 3 years now. I wanted it's a Blackstone electric griddle. I wanted the bigger one, but I was perfectly fine with the smaller one. I got the smaller one, and I'm glad I didn't get the bigger one because I have no idea where I would have put it. But man, I wish I could make all the food I want to make on that fucker, but I don't have enough money to buy all that food, and I don't have enough time to make all that. But yeah, I'm excited to have that. Um, what else? Like Christmas was awesome for me in that regard. Like it just I felt great. And then the next day came and I had to go back to work and I'm like, fuck. I was expecting hell on earth. Nope. Work's been dead since the Christmas Eve. So that was nice, going to work, just kind of dick around, sat there, chit chat with my coworkers. It was awesome to have just a break. Then yesterday came. Yeah, I'm glad I'm back to streaming because fuck that, dude. So yesterday, of course, is the end of school break. Yesterday was the last day. And so we got just obliterated. Um, I work in fulfillment at Target for those of you that are new watching. And it was so busy. Like we had the manpower the day before that we needed yesterday. And so it just, yeah, we got our shit kicked in so bad. And it went on for so long throughout December, like from Black Friday to literally Christmas Eve. It was just there. If your shit was late, if you live in Billings, Montana, and you did fulfillment at Target over this past Christmas, I'm sorry if your shit was late, but y'all spent a lot of money. Thank you for keeping me employed because of it, but god damn it, man. The worst day we had, we were 2.5 hours behind on our batch count. That's never happened. But we just there's no way. Like, holy crap, it was insane. But, yeah, work has been stressful but good, and I actually am glad that I don't have to work 38-hour weeks anymore because fuck that noise.
Right.
Um, my coworkers so many of my coworkers were working way longer than that. I don't know how they did it. I could barely handle, uh, the 38 hours, like, that's insane. But yeah, The other interesting thing that's been going on, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of it because you do have kids, is the shortage in medicine that's happening right now. You know, I understand people are frustrated, but yelling at me because we don't have the medicine isn't gonna fucking solve anything, man. And for like the last 2 weeks, that's happened at least once a day. I'm getting bitched out by some crazy ass dude, some crazy ass chick. It's like, why are you yelling at me? I'm just the guy that pulls the shit off the shelf, puts it in a cart, puts it in a bag, and goes, "Here." That's my job. Why are you yelling at me? I don't put shit on the shelves. I take it off the shelf.
Well, that's
But
why
yeah,
you're
no.
getting it, you know, because you're
Yeah,
taking
because
it
'cause I'm the
from
guy.
them. Yeah,
No, that's the thing. We didn't have it, period. Like, if we had it, it was already gone because someone came in and bought it.
yeah,
It's to the point now where they have put a limit, 1 per customer. Like, literally, if we do get it in, it doesn't matter if you order online, come in store, 1. You can get 1. If you try and get more, you will be denied. That being said, if you go in and we have it and you're there with someone else, technically, we can't stop you and your friend for buying the medicine. I'm just saying, if you wanna circumvent things, that's how you do it. Yelling at people is not gonna get you anything, and it is not gonna magically make medicine appear. I get
yeah.
it, you're worried about your kids, I fully understand, but yelling at me, the next
Doesn't
person that
help.
does it is probably gonna get decked. Like, I'm just that over it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but other than that, like, I'm you know, I've had an interesting month away. I miss doing this. Like, I really did miss doing the show. I miss streaming in general, but I don't wanna go back to work. Like, if I could just say, "Yeah, I'm done. Fuck this," I would be thrilled.
you do it.
If this was a means for a livelihood right now, if I could pay my bills by doing this, fuck yeah, I'd do this every day, no problem. But no, that's not a thing, so I gotta go back to that shithole sometime.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
One one thing that happened to me over this little break here that I did not disclose. My wife's car, right? That's why I said it's in the shop. We took it in because for a while, quite a while now, when you start it up, it sounds like it's a motorcycle. I'm like,
oh,
that doesn't
lovely.
sound good, right? It's not, a car's not supposed to sound like this. And then we got in the car and we were looking at Christmas lights, and I'm like, dude, what is that smell? I could not
Uh-oh.
place this odor. And
Uh-oh.
then we went over to my brother-in-law's, her brother's house on Christmas Eve, and I told him, he works for Bob Stahl Chevy, so I told him, come outside here, check it, look at the car with me, and tell me what you think, because I'm just drawing a blank. I can't figure it out. And he started it, and he goes, "That's exhaust. It's an exhaust leak, 100%. That's an exhaust leak. Worst case scenario, it's a cracked manifold. It's not a hard fix, but it is a hard fix. So like I
Yeah.
could do it myself, but I'd have to get a lot of crap out of the way to be able to do it and then put it all back in. I'm like, to be honest with you, just changing a headlight in a Chevy now, the way that they create their vehicles and how awkward it is to where you have to take it to the freaking dealership because you have to take apart 5 different pieces to get to what used to be 2 screws. I'm like, nah, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. So we took it to a local exhaust place that does like custom car builds and whatnot,
Mhm.
because it is a local business, and I'm a firm believer of you support your local over big. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I would
Yeah.
much rather go to a family shop that's been around for a long time over go to a mainstream, um, big name place because
Yeah.
I don't like commercial. I'd rather have mom and pop stay open. That's me.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we went to them and they were like, "This is what it is. It is a cracked um, manifold. That's what it is. So we can't fix it here, but we have a sister shop that can. So we sent the car over to the sister shop, and that was them. calling and saying, okay, we have everything. It should be back tomorrow. They gave us
Okay.
the dollar amount and whatnot, and I'm like, oh god, that sucks. Like that hurts. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, when your car's broke down, the only option to do is either fix it or sell it. And right now,
Yeah.
fixing it is the best bet because we own the car. You know, when you own it, if you can justify fixing it as opposed to selling it and just getting a new car, fix it every day of the week. You know,
Yeah.
who wants to have a car payment if they don't have to? So it was not an outrageous number. It was high, but it was not outrageous. So we're just fixing it. When we get our tax return, we'll start, pay off all the big things and keep it level. But yeah, man, that was one thing that happened. Is I was like, I'm over it. You need to take your car to the shop. She's like, I don't have time. Make time. Take my car. Work from home the days that I don't get home in time, and take my car the days that I'm home.
Yeah.
And so
I
that's what
mean,
we've
it's
been doing.
inconvenience, but it's better than, you know, not having that extra vehicle. You guys need that, So
Yeah. Well, and it wouldn't have been that big of an issue if it wasn't raining this week because I'd have just taken the motorcycle to
yeah,
work.
yeah,
Like
it's been
and
like
and the kids are out of school still. So like we needed to have somebody watch the kids anyway. So instead of asking my parents, "Hey, can you watch the kids?" she just worked from home. She had the kids. It worked out at the same
it's
time for multiple reasons, but dang, bro.
yeah, I can only imagine what that's like. I don't have all of that going on. We get snow here, and I'm that idiot. You know me. I don't feel the cold very well. Um, it's like this was last week. Yeah, last week or the week before. I'm not sure when. We had negative temperatures, like -20, -50 with wind chill. And my dumbass, I'm at work. I don't want to be inside because people and heat, and I'm just like, fuck this. I walk outside, I turn around, went right back, grabbed my coat. I'm restarting my break. Fuck this. And no one argued with me. They were just like, yeah, you're good. You're good. Um, but yeah, I'd go sit outside, use my e-cig, -20-degree weather. All of my coworkers are like, "You're fucking insane. Why are you doing this?" And part of it is just, you know, I'm bored. I don't want to be inside. I want to sit down. I want to be left alone. No one's gonna fuck with me outside. And this story is coming back around to kind of match what's going on with what you were dealing with. But one of the days that I was working, my girlfriend's tenant, one of the two that are now living downstairs, he was giving me a ride to work. Okay, cool. His car won't start. He tries to start it for 30 fucking minutes. It just will not start no matter
It's
what he
just too
does.
cold.
It wasn't that it was too cold. It's because he got fuel in the line and he didn't know he's a young kid. He's 20 and he just doesn't know enough. Like he just doesn't like know what to do because he's always had someone else kind of fix it for him. And so the other guy that lives downstairs that's been living down there for a while, they're buddies, whatever. Um, he comes home later on and fixes it for him, no problem. But I'm still sitting there like, I gotta go to work. I'm gonna be fucking late. My girlfriend literally just says, take my car, but don't let him fuck with the seat or anything. Don't let him fuck with anything. Okay, cool, no problem. Yeah, he fucked with the seat. Very next day, I gotta go to work. She's taking me. She gets in the car and she's like, what the fuck did he do? And thus I make the comment, I need to get my license. I need to get a car so I can stop relying on other people. And so shit like that doesn't ever happen again. Just saying. I don't know how this comes back around to what you were dealing with, but
I
just thought
mean,
I'd
it
share.
does. No, it does because with Jill taking my car, if she adjusts anything, I have to remember where I put it, you know? And I mean, she's the kind of person where she's like, "I don't want to mess with your settings." And I'm like, "Nah, like personally, I'm a firm believer if you take somebody's car, put yourself in the safest position. Like if
Yeah.
you can't drive my car, sitting the way that I sit because I'm either A, taller, or B, like just positioning's not good for you.
Yeah.
Change the seat, adjust the back, scoot it forward, do what you got to do. Just keep my car safe,
So
keep
you wanna know
yourself safe.
what's funniest about this whole situation is that, and I knew this when my girlfriend bought the car. Her car has that memory chip in the seat and in the whole, like, driver's seat thing where you can tell the car, like, "Hey, these are the settings for where the seat's supposed to be, how high, how low, how forward, how back, everything." The only thing that you have to adjust on your own is the backrest. It's not that's not the not automatic, but you can push the button, tell the car, "Okay, this is my settings." And I asked her when we got the car, "Do you wanna set that?" And she's like, "No, no one's ever gonna drive my car but me. You
No,
might drive it every
regardless,
now and again."
you
But yeah,
still
so
said it.
yeah,
Beckman and you and me, we're all on the same page. Welcome, Beckman. I appreciate it. He says car is the priority. Yeah, your life and your car come first. Like
yeah,
my comfortability, I can readjust. You got that setting, bro. You set it.
yeah,
That
but I
just in
didn't the
case
thing
somebody uses it, hit that button.
so I told her like, "Hey, let's mess around with that sometime in the next couple days," and she's like, "No, no one's gonna use my car anymore. You need to get your own car. You need to get your license. You need to get your own car." And I'm like, "You do realize what car I'm gonna get, right?" She goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you're gonna get your piece of shit little fucking like smart car or whatever." Because I'll be honest, I'm a big dude, 6 foot, 420 pounds. I still just the whole idea of driving freaks me out. But being in a big car and being responsible, I can't do that. I want to
Not
get,
everybody can. Not
you
everybody
know,
can. I
I want
can
to
because
get
I have a truck.
either.
I've owned a truck almost my whole life, but I've also owned those little tiny cars. You remember?
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. That
Not
car, that
everybody.
little red Pulsar, or you didn't have a Pulsar. You had
Chevy
a,
Sprint.
yeah. I would have loved that car, man. That car
Yeah.
would have been perfect for me.
Not
I
everybody can
need,
have a big car.
and it's like the thing is I live in Montana, and so when I'm telling everybody what I want, everyone's kind of snickering like, this motherfucker. And so finally, I told my girlfriend flat out, the next person who fucking snickers at me for the car I want to get, I'm gonna deck. And she goes, "Well, what if it's me?" And I said, "Do you want me to drive or do you want me to keep being a passenger?" She's like, "I want you to drive." I'm like, "Then go ahead and snicker. Just remember, I don't have to go to work tomorrow if I don't want to." And that ended that conversation real quickly.
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah.
but
So say you're in a big car and you don't know how to drive it. Your dimensions are way different. So like you're taking wider turns. When you're parking, you have to figure out how to maneuver in a narrower spot. You're on the road and a car gets in your blind spot. If you don't know the dimensions, you're gonna clip it or they're gonna clip you. In a smaller car, you have more room to maneuver. You've got more chances to adjust if you miscalculate. Granted, yeah, it's not the most comfortable thing to be inside of with more than one person if it's small. I mean, when I had the Chevy Sprint, like I said, I'm 6'3" at the time. Yes, I've shrunk with age, but at the time, 6'3" and over 400 pounds. So I was a big guy. And with me and Dave next to each other, it was like sardines.
shoulder to
And it
shoulder.
and
Yeah, I
it
know. I
and it was
remember.
a manual transmission. Like it was a stick shift.
I
And
remember. I
so
remember riding with you. I mean, I
yeah,
wasn't as big as you and Dave. I was still big, but you and Dave had much, like, naturally wider frames, and that's
yeah,
not an insult, you know that. But
yeah.
I remember sitting in the back seat. The one time it was you, me, and David. I'm sitting in the middle of the back because you guys are like, move," because
Yeah.
I'm leaning to one side. Um, and so we're sitting there, and I'm just looking over your shoulders. There's no gap there. It's just
No.
shoulders, and I'm
Yeah.
all, "This is interesting."
Yeah.
But
A
yeah,
small
no, it
car, it does. It's very different from a big car.
yeah,
And
the
now I'm in a
car I was looking at,
mid-size SUV, and yeah, it's like whatever. But yeah, I've had big cars and small cars most of my life. I can tell the difference. And for somebody who doesn't have the experience driving, a smaller car is not a bad idea.
yeah. I was looking, recently I was looking at, like, I think it's a Focus,
It
you
was
know,
sweaty.
it was very sweaty. Um, but no, I was looking at getting like a Focus or something small, something not too compact. because obviously, like, I don't wanna be crushed in my own car, but I want something that's spacious. And one of my coworkers actually owns a Smart, and she's like, "Do you wanna check it out?" Because I was talking with her about it, and I said, "Yeah." Man, there's a lot of fucking room in that damn car. That tiny little box, it feels like you could fit 2 of me in there
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
easily.
yeah.
And I'm all, "And everyone's giving me shit for this?" Like, the car's
Well,
only like $8,000, like, brand new, I could get one for like 10 grand. If I get it used, it's like 8 grand. I mean, that's still a hell of a lot better than trying to buy, some big ass SUV that, "Oh, look, my pay." Oh, where'd it go? It's in the gas tank. Oh, wait,
yeah,
it's gone. Like,
yeah.
no,
My
I would
paycheck's
rather
gone. Whoops.
I would rather spend money on something that will get me literally to and from work, around town. Billings is not as big as San Diego, so I don't need something that's gonna go 50 miles, I need something that can go maybe 20, 30 at most in a single charge. Yeah, the only downside of the Smart is that it has 0 wheel traction.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say,
when
but
it
being in
snows.
Billings, you're gonna want traction. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
and so that's why I went back to looking at, like, a Focus or something that's still small, but not, like.
Yeah, not an 800
Yeah,
pound car.
yeah,
Yeah, you get a
and
2-ton truck, and you're like, okay, I got weight behind me, and I can get, like traction on the road. You get that light car, you're like, wee.
yeah.
But
The
I
thing
mean,
about the
regardless, the
but
the
it's
smart
something that's
car,
still.
the smart car does fit people side to side. It is shocking, but the back seat is next to nothing. So if you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about the back seat, you're gold with a smart car.
So that's the one thing that I was thinking about is, at some point, I wanna be able to make trips back to San Diego, and I don't wanna fly. I'd rather drive. I prefer, you know, flying if I am on a timeline, yes, but if I don't have to fucking take my time or rush somewhere, I mean, I can take my time and just enjoy the trip. I wanna drive, and I want a car that will make it from here to there, back again, and then several times over, and the Smart would definitely not do that. The Focus would do it.
It
The only problem
it,
I
it
have is
would.
I need to charge it. I gotta
I
charge
say
it, and that's the
a
problem.
smart would make it. A smart would make it, and
But you have to
that's the
charge it
difference.
every
Is you
single
have,
night,
yeah, you'd have to charge it. You'd have to find those charging stations and plan your route accordingly.
and that's where it gets to be a bitch. That's why I was looking at one of those, like, I wouldn't say it's a hybrid, but I think that's what it was. Is it still uses fuel, but that fuel basically is what powers the
The smart
I
does
guess you could
that. The smart
the
does that.
Smart
It has a
Smart
gallon or
no,
2 gallons of gas for a
nope,
reserve. You say
not
no.
the
My
I've
brother-in-law has. He works for Chevy. He has one. Maybe the new ones don't, but the one he has does. It has
the
two
ones I've
gallons of
looked at
gas.
the ones I looked at did not have that.
Yeah, his
So,
his had a 2 gallon gas tank, legit 2 gallon, and it was so you could drive on your battery, and then when your battery died, you can get to a charging station, and then you'd
hmm,
go get gas to fill up, and then you'd go back on the road, and you get to another charging station. That way, you're never stranded on the side of the road. There's always a 2 mile, or sorry, for him, it's a two gallon of gas, which actually equivaled out to like I think 30 miles he could get, so 15 miles a
yeah.
gallon, or maybe it was a little bit more. But still, it was enough gas to get to a charging station and make sure your car could run you to a gas station so you're prepared for the next time.
Yeah. But no, it's something that I'm looking at for later this year. The first thing I need to take care of that I've been needing to take care of for the last 20 years, I need to get new glasses, like bad. So I get my new glasses, then I'll start getting back into, working on getting my license and then get a car. Um my biggest concern with that whole situation is that depending on what I end up getting, I still don't have any credit. So I don't know how I'm going to get that motherfucker. But it will
Well,
allow me to have a lot of freedom that I
you
currently
have a cell phone, right?
not in my name.
Ah, see, there it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's how you get your credit right there. You start off with a cell
Well,
phone, and I knew you
so
had
that's the
one. I
one
didn't know if
thing.
it was under your name or somebody
So
else's.
so the one thing that is working in my advantage is that I have, through Target, and this is probably putting information out there that I'm not supposed to, I'm not entirely sure, but Target no longer lets you use your discount if you use a debit card. Like, if you wanna use your discount, and use your debit card, there's only one way to do it, and you have to get the red card. Well, the red card is technically a credit card even if you use it
Oh,
as
through
debit.
Target.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah,
so
that's still
I
credit.
spend a crap well, mine is a debit, so it still technically treats it like a credit card, like, it's if I swipe my red card today and buy something at the store, it won't post for at least 24 to 48 hours, no matter what I do. Um, and I was looking into it and I found out that, yeah, it does. Regardless if it's debit or credit, it still works towards your credit score. And so I was curious what my credit score was because it's, like, non-existent when I started my job. It's actually pretty decent right now to the point where I'm actually getting offers for credit cards and other stuff. My bank even offered me a credit card. I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. I'm
Yeah.
on
So
I'm on
there
the
you go.
radar again."
Well, no, but
But
that's what you want. That way, when it comes
oh, I
time
know.
to either A, buy a car, B, buy a house, C, get a credit card, you start somewhere. And a lot of people did. They started with either gas credit cards or like Target credit cards or Walmart credit cards or
Yeah.
something like that. Mine, because I'm 41 years old, mine started with a cell phone. And then after the cell phone, I went to Chevron and got a Chevron credit card. And then I went to Guitar Center and got a Guitar Center credit card, bought my guitar, my bass, and then that's how my credit started. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I had credit before all this, but because I haven't worked or anything like that, my credit was non-existent. So, the fact that I've been able to maintain the payments on my whenever I make a purchase, I haven't had any payment, bounce. It's significantly improved my credit in just a few months, and it's like, that's awesome, but I'm not at the point where I could get a car just yet. Like, I've got at least another 6 to 8 months of working and continuously using my red card before my credit would be at a point where I would be able to maybe get a loan to get a car. Depends on how much the loan is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's something that it gave me optimism that this might actually become a thing, and I'm excited for this next year for multiple reasons. But that is right now the biggest thing that I'm kind of looking forward to. It's just can I can I actually handle the driving? That fear, that anxiety, it's so overwhelming that it's debilitating in some ways for me. So I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm going to
It's
give it a hell of a shot. Like I'm not going
you're
to just
not alone. You're not alone. There are a lot of people out there that I know on a personal level that they have that, you know, crippling fear of I can't drive. There's too many people on the road that I don't know what they're gonna do. I can't trust that I'm gonna be okay.
yeah.
So I mean, I get it. I get it 100% because I know people that have that. Me, I don't have it. I mean, I'm on a motorcycle for crying out loud. I get hit by a
Yeah.
car, I'm as good as
See,
dead.
it's
But
weird. So here's the thing. That's what's weird. I know if you put me on a motorcycle, I don't know how to start or run a motorcycle. I have more confidence with my ability to ride a bike than I do drive a car. That's what's insane to me. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm dead man if I'm on a bike. I know this. I'm not an idiot. I know if I rode a bike, I'd be dead instantaneously, especially here. Fuck, I'll freeze to death before I get hit by somebody probably, but I would have the confidence to do that as opposed to driving. It's like, why is my brain wired so weirdly like this? Like, I can't figure it out, but I just have this confidence like, yeah, no, I'm good. Give me
a
the
big
handlebars
part
and
of
I'll
it,
ride.
a big part of that, I can tell you straight up, just from personal thoughts and feelings, is a big part of that has to do with your amount of control.
Exactly.
When you're on a bike, a bicycle, motorcycle, when you're on two wheels, you have the I can control this scenario in your head because if I don't, then I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in a car, I'm sitting in a chair and the car's doing all the work. I'm just steering. And like that's the same for me. Is when I'm in a car, I feel more secure in the aspect of if somebody hits me, I know I'm not going to die. Well, chances are I'm not going to die. Where on the bike, if I get hit by a car, chances are I'm either going to be really badly hurt or I'm going to die. And I've been almost hit on my bike at least 6 times. I've laid my bike down once, and my shoulder was jacked for a year or longer. And I still get on my bike because I still have that. Well, I mean, I have the control of I either go fast or I don't. A car comes over in me and I can get out of the way faster than it'll hit me, or it'll surprise me and it'll take me out. But either way, if it surprises me, it's going to surprise me in a car too. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and that's
And
the thing. I think like
my bike is an old bike, so it's loud. So if you're not like if you don't see me or hear me on my motorcycle, chances are you're not paying attention anyway. So if I were in my car, you're definitely going to hit my car.
yeah. So it's just it's that mental block that I have, and I know I'm 40 years old. I've never had my license, and it's that factor that my girlfriend's family, they try to be supportive of it, um, but they don't understand. It's like, I appreciate it, but you guys have been doing this for as long as you've been able to. I have not, and I've been ejected from cars several times. I've been in car accidents. It's all of that, then the reality of, if there's anyone in the car with me, I'm responsible for their well-being. All
Mm-hmm.
of that weighs on me so much that it causes my anxiety to just ex "Yep, see you later, fuck y'all." So, yeah, it's just it's a lot for me to just say, "Okay, I'm gonna give this a real shot. I'm gonna try to learn how to drive." And I said that a year ago, when I thought when all that shit with the house was going on, I thought we were gonna sell the house. I was determined to get my license. I knew what car I was gonna get with the money and all this other stuff. When that went away, it like, "Fuck that. I don't wanna do this." And then slowly but surely, after I got here, we moved in here, I was like, "You know what? I have the van still. I don't really feel comfortable driving the van, but at least I already have a car. I don't have to buy one. It's already paid for. It's done deal, whatever." Well, I had to sell the van.
Yeah.
So after selling the van, I was like, "Well, fuck that, dude. I don't wanna fucking, get locked into some sort of bullshit where I'm paying 3 times what the vehicle is worth." Like, ultimately, I'll pay 3 times what the vehicle is worth and not actually, get that value out of it. It's like, "Nah, fuck that." So that prevented me from going forward with it because I see all the other stuff. I don't just see, like, I need to get a car, I need to do this. I see this cost isn't worth what could be a temporary solution. It's not even a permanent solution to a problem. So that's just how my brain is wired in that regard. But that fear is so much more of an issue for me that it's like, this ain't worth it. But now it is, because I do enjoy my job. Yes, I bitch about it, but I do enjoy my job. I love my job. I love what I do. I love the people I work with. I have an awesome crew of people. I've worked in retail most of my life. You know this, James. I've hated every one of those jobs. This one I actually thoroughly enjoy. I'm physically active the entire day. Um, I'm working with people that wanna see me succeed too. It's not like they're just like, "Yeah, yeah, do your job." My coworkers will drop what they're doing and help me in a heartbeat. I've never had that. So, yeah, if I could go to work more, still stream, be able to stream, but be able to go to work when they need somebody, I would love that option. I don't have that right now. Right now, I have to work when my girlfriend can take me, or I can get a ride, and that sucks. And that's inconveniencing people that it shouldn't inconvenience. So that's another big part of why I'm like, I need to get my fucking license and get a car. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully by the time I come out there, nope, that's not going to happen because that's next month, which I should probably talk about because we are definitely going to do a podcast while I'm out there. But I'm supposed to be there. Hang on, I'm bringing up the calendar right now. So if everything bogs out, it's because I push buttons. I am supposed to be there from the 21st of February to I think it's the 26th or 25th. I'm not sure which. I haven't decided yet. Um, but yeah, I'm supposed to be out there from the 21st to the 25th, 26th. And I'm pretty confident it's only going to take me and my brother's like 2 days to go through that storage locker and deal with it and move stuff over and throw away whatever we're not going to keep. So the 22nd, I mean, yes, it's not a Tuesday, but I mean, If you're not busy, just saying.
Well, I know I'm gonna have to work, but when I'm off of work, but I mean, you know as well as I do, me getting off work could be as early as 10 o'clock in the
See, the
morning.
other thing though is
So
you have Fridays off,
I do.
right?
Well, as of right now, I do.
Well, hopefully you still have the 24th off because I'll still be in San Diego. I'm just saying, you know, we should get together and do a live podcast. I mean, we could technically push that week's podcast to that Friday, do the podcast, and do it in the same location. Like we could literally, like I could bring shit. I could bring my, um, I could bring this. I don't wanna because this thing's gonna be a pain in the ass to get through. Fucking, I can see me trying to pull this through TSA. They'll be like, no, no. So, but I mean, it's possible. It's totally possible that we could set up something and do a podcast live from your home. Question is,
Yeah.
would that be doable? Like on your
Oh
end?
yeah. Yeah. It wouldn't be a problem. Like if we were at my pad, you chances are you'd be by your brother, which is what 10 minutes from my house, 20 minutes from my house tops.
For
So
the most part,
it
yeah.
wouldn't be a problem. Like we could set it
I
up
don't know if I would be
in the game
staying in
room.
his. That's the only
Well,
thing.
no,
I don't think
I'm
I'm
just
gonna stay
saying,
at his
like
place.
I don't see you being too far from it though. You know what I mean? It's not like you're gonna stay in Escondido.
Oh fuck
You know,
no, fuck
you know what I
no.
mean?
No, I'll
So,
definitely be either. I'll either be downtown or I'll be like around sports arena or something like that. Like I will be in San Diego regardless. Like that's not changing. Um, but the last time we were there, which was for my dad's like I guess wake, whatever, I don't know, memorial. Um, when I stayed at my brother doesn't have, you know this, he doesn't have a big place. He has a two-bedroom apartment. He has 3 kids, him and his wife. I thought, hey, I'll just sleep on the couch. I know how to do it. It's not a big deal. I'll be fine. Sister-in-law did not want anyone sleeping on the couch. So I had to go sleep with Elliot and the kids in the kids' room. We slept on the floor. And back then, it was extremely difficult to get up and down off that bed every morning because, you know, I was 500 fucking 10 pounds back then. I'm not 510 pounds anymore, but getting off the floor is still extremely painful for me.
yeah.
And I just no, I want a bed. I want a bed that I can actually sprawl out in. And more importantly, I would love to have a night or 2 or 3 with nobody calling for me, no one bugging me. I could walk around buck ass naked if I wanted to, and I ain't got to worry about a fucking thing. I can't do that right now. So yeah, yeah. The idea of getting a hotel room is something I've been looking into. Just don't know if I'm gonna have the money. So, but
Look
yeah, I
into
don't.
some of the truck stop motels, like the truck driver
I've
hotels. It's
I've
like
looked into
something
a couple different
six.
places. There's one place I saw that I might be able to afford, but I'd have to book it online and I would have to book it at least 2 days before we leave, which would be doable because I'm supposed to get paid literally right before we leave. So I'm like, maybe, but I still have to get the money for the airfare and I got to get all that taken care of before we leave.
Yeah.
So it's like right now I'm trying to get everything in line. We'll see what happens. But if everything works out the way I hope it will, I will be able to do whatever the hell I want and have a decent amount of money in my pocket. The problem is they just started cutting hours at my work. And so we'll see what my income is come beginning of February. If my hours don't pick up even a little bit the first 2 weeks of February, yeah, that's gonna suck. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, we should if everything goes the way it sounds like it's gonna go, my hours are gonna pick right back up in like 2 weeks from now. So we'll see. But that's the only thing that's kind of slowing down the process is I don't know definitively if I'm gonna be able to afford everything on my own. Like I may have to finagle some things around and so on and so forth. But then, and this is the other thing I haven't had a chance to talk to you about. My girlfriend, beginning of December, I think it was, decided, you know what? I want to go see Garth Brooks perform in Vegas because he announced his residency there. So she bought tickets, and we're going in May. And then I asked, "How much is this gonna cost?" And she's like, "Oh, well, the ticket's already paid for, but we still gotta get a hotel room, and I wanna stay on the Strip, so it's gonna be like $500 a night." And I'm all, "How long are we staying in Vegas?" She's like, "Oh, for, like, maybe a night or 2." And I'm like, "God,
Dude,
how
you
much
don't.
are plane tickets?"
So when it comes to the strip, it really depends on where you're staying. Like if you stay on the old strip,
He's
you can
already
get it.
told me he wants to stay close to the venue. So it's like,
Uh,
fuck.
all right.
Yeah.
I was gonna
So
say if
she's
you stay
already
on the
kind of
old
like,
part of the strip, you could save yourself $500. It's like $150 to $250 a night.
so the thing is, she's like, we basically are highballing what we need. And so between now and beginning of May, I have to have like 4 or 5 grand saved up. Plus we have to buy the tickets by no later than the end of March. So
It's
I'm
rough.
like, so getting the storage
I mean,
locker
it's
taken
gonna be a
care
good
of
show.
is a big. I know it'll be a good show. I've never been to a concert. You know that about me. Like, I've never been to see like an actual established artist perform. I've been to a buddy of mine's concert, but I've that was at a bar. I've never been to an actual venue and sat down and watched someone perform. And so it's like, fuck. And then I don't know how the seats are going to be. Here in Billings, all of the places that we've gone to, the when we went to see Gabriel Iglesias last January, the Metra, that's the arena here in Billings, those seats are not fat people friendly, okay? They are not fat people or tall people friendly at all. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just in a shit ton of pain. And so I had to fucking move. We went to go see last Christmas. We went to, or no, last March. I think it was. I can't remember when it was. We went to go see the local orchestra perform John Williams music. And for most of the show, I was okay, but it was still very uncomfortable. And so, yes, I've lost weight since then, like a lot of weight since then. So it probably won't be as bad, but I don't want to be uncomfortable. And this is not like here where there's probably a place to move. I already know the venue sold out. So there is not going to be a place for me to move to if I am uncomfortable. And I tried to explain that to my girlfriend. I'm like, you understand that if I get uncomfortable, I have two choices: suck it up or leave.
Yeah.
I'm not going to suck it up because when we get back from this trip, you'll have a day off. I'll have to go right back to work.
Yeah.
So and then flying there back and forth, yeah, my body's gonna be wrecked, and I gotta go back to work. My job is not hard, but my job is not easy on my body. So I have to think of the ability to keep working because less than a month after this, she's gone. She's taken off to go to Michigan for her other job. So I'm like, no,
So
fuck
coming from firsthand
it.
experience at different venues in Vegas, some of them are fat friendly, some of them aren't.
Well, I don't
We
know the venue. I
saw
think it's MGM. I think he's performing at MGM.
MGM has a lot of remodels done, so chances are you'll be okay.
Okay.
We saw the Blue Man Group in Vegas. We've seen a couple other shows in Vegas. Um, and like I said, there were a couple. Like when we saw Blue Man Group, you know my wife. She's got some big hips, and she did okay. You know what I mean? She was fine. And then there was another venue that we went to over there where it was like, damn, this is a tight fit. This sucks. You know.
Yeah. And
Um,
so that's what I was worried about mostly because
so yeah,
that's what's
they're
happening.
out there. Those venues are out there, and I mean, if you think about it, it's Garth Brooks. He's got a large variety of fans, from
And he's very
skinny.
adamant about making sure his fans are comfortable and enjoy the show. So
Yeah,
that
so I mean,
probably
it
played a big
goes.
part in his decision to go where he went.
Yeah, it goes from he's got those skinny rednecks who are true cowboys and those ones that are true hillbillies to the bigger guys like myself. Of I'm a city cowboy, but at the same time I'm not a big or I'm not a little guy. I'm tall, I'm big, I'm built, and I do a lot of construction. It's fine. Um, and when we went to see him here, the seats that they had on the floor for him were essentially folding chairs with a cushion, but it was all because it's the sports arena. Like that's the
Yeah.
standard seating. So it does. It depends on the venue. It really has nothing to do with the performer. It's the venue.
Yeah, it's the venue itself. Yeah. But I've been to the sports arena. I've never sat on the floor, but the actual stands, like up in the bleachers and whatnot, those seats were never too uncomfortable for me back in the
And
day.
I was gonna say, and
I don't know.
back in the day, they were smaller than they are now. Like they've
Yeah,
had an
they
upgrade
did
to
have a
where the
remodel. Yeah.
seats, yeah, the seats got wider.
Yeah.
Because society is now a bigger society. I mean,
Unfortunately, that's true.
it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Us here in the states, we have a lot of processed foods, which helps us gain a
Mhm,
lot of weight.
mhm.
And a lot of us don't do mindful eating. You know, and
Or your
so
worst don't work out like I do. I don't.
yeah,
Although I'm starting that again. I One of the
yeah,
biggest things about my job that I need is strength. I don't have it. I used to, you know me, I used to be pretty damn strong. Man, when I can't lift a 60-pound box without needing some kind of assistance, that bothers me.
yeah.
So I've got plans to start moving, like lifting weights again here very soon. It's just a matter of
Don't
finding the space in the house to do that.
I would say don't start crazy with weights.
Oh no, I'm gonna
I would
start
start with bands. Start with bands, like the
um
rubber band kind of things. The reason being is because you'll build up muscle better and faster by doing more reps with bands than you will with doing less reps with weight.
I'm I've worked with bands before. They don't work the same way for me. Like no matter how I use them, when I'm using as intended or as modified, whatever, they just don't work for me that way. I will build up the muscle will build up, yeah, but I don't gain any actual strength. And that's the whole point of what I'm trying to do is to gain actual strength. So I don't plan on doing a crap ton of lifts or reps or whatever. My focus is just to slowly build it back up, like very slowly. Like I
Okay.
plan to start small and work my way up over time.
Yeah.
Um, it's more important that I build up that strength because I'm not looking to, me. I've never wanted like, an Adonis body. I've always wanted just physical
To
strength
be
back.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, to be my old self, to be my younger self again when I had strength and could do the things that I used to do. If I by the end of this year, if I can be at least 3/4 of that guy again, I'll be happy. If I can get up and down off the floor without having to have, like, assistance, that in itself will be an accomplishment for me this year. And so, I mean, I'm taking getting in better shape more serious because, 1, I need it for my job. Um, there's so many times where I have to get down on the bottom shelf and get in the back of the fucking shelf, and it's like, I can't do this. Like, I physically cannot get down there because if I go down even on one knee, it's like, fuck, man. Have you ever experienced bone on concrete just grinding
Oh
before?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much fun. So I need to be able to do that without being in that kind of catastrophic pain.
Yeah.
Because I did it yesterday and I was like, nope, fuck that. I got right back up. I was shocked I was able to do it, but I went down to one knee and promptly got right back up. And I'm like, nope. So
Yeah.
I know I've gotten a lot lighter and I've gotten in better shape from just doing my job, but I want to push beyond just what my job can help me do and focus on, improving my quality of life. Like just being able to get on the floor would be awesome. Just get off the floor, I mean, and yeah, I would love that because right now I can't. But
Yeah. I hear
we've
you.
been going for over an hour, and normally this is where I would push to kind of end it. But I think we could go a little bit more, not too much more, but maybe a little bit more. Um, oh my god. Have you seen either the new Black Panther or Avatar yet?
I saw the new Avatar. Did not see the new Black Panther.
Well, I know that I think it's either later this month, like not even that far. It's like 2 weeks from now, I think. Black Panther is supposed to be on Disney Plus. Um, I wanted to go see it in theaters. Like I really wanted to go see it in theaters, but it just been so fucking busy. And I'm very interested in the story. Like I've tried so hard to avoid spoilers for it.
I've had many
but
people at work yesterday trying to spoil the movie for me, so I just kept going. Every time they'd go to spoil it, I'd go on a rant of what I thought was going to happen, and I would reiterate the fact I haven't seen it yet, so this was my guess. I haven't seen it yet, so this is what I would always tell people. I haven't seen it yet, so this is the assumption that I came up with.
so
I
the
haven't
one thing that
seen it
sucks for
yet,
me,
so you know what I mean. Like that's
yeah, the one thing that sucks for me is I work at Target, and so we've been selling the toys for all of the characters that are in the movie, and I'm just like, I wanted to know how Ironheart looked, and after seeing it, I'm all not impressed. So that already kind of killed it for me. That was before the movie even was like officially released. And even now, like I've heard mixed reviews. Like it's good. It did what it was going to do, which was of course, pay homage to Chadwick Boseman, but that's about all it was good for. Like it didn't really further the story in any good way. So I don't know, but the people who I've heard review it are not diehard fans that have been following the Marvel Cinematic Universe and have read the comics. So they're either just casual people who've watched it who were like, yeah, it was all right, but so I don't know. As for Avatar, I haven't seen it yet as well. Um, but I've heard, yeah, like it wasn't worth the wait. Is that true?
Oh no, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like I went and I
Okay.
watched it in IMAX 3D,
See,
and
I don't have that here. We don't have those
I
here.
well, I mean, I'm just saying, like
We do. It's just we don't have
when
it
I
here.
saw Avatar, the very first Avatar, right? I saw it in 3D IMAX at Regal of all places, and Regal at the time was one of the worst theaters out here,
Mhm.
and it was
Which one?
so good. Parkway. It
Oh,
was
okay.
so good that I saw it two more times in theater. And then when they re-released it, I had every intention of going to see it again. Like I enjoyed that one so much. It was visually stimulating to the point where I was just like, "Oh my god, that's amazing." Like the colors are great, the graphics are great, the 3D like the 3D effects were great. It just looked very very impressive to me. So, I had really high expectations for this new one and I enjoyed it. Like I'm not going to say it was like over the top amazing, but I did enjoy it. You know, like I appreciated the fact that I had a friend, a coworker who said, "Hey, let's go watch it." I was like, "Yeah, okay." We went. We actually went to um uh
So real quick.
I want to say Horton Plaza, maybe. No, not Horton Plaza. The
So real
one out
quick,
by.
James.
Yeah, go ahead.
So in comparison to
Ah,
Maverick, you sold that film to the point where it's like if I didn't go see it, I was an idiot. On a scale of that being the standard for like, yes, you must go fucking see it and don't bother, where would Avatar 2 fit?
I would put it up there with Maverick. Like I enjoyed the crap out of Maverick. The whole story, but I'm a Top Gun fan, so it's kind of biased. Um,
Yes, but you also like were thoroughly like I mean, the best way to put it, you were like a kid on Christmas morning
well, I waited so
infinitely.
long. I waited so long, and the first one was by far my favorite movie, like of all time. And
Yeah.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. You know how I like Top Gun is by far my favorite movie, like of all time. I will always be biased of it, and I don't really care what anybody says. The guy who told me to go see Avatar with him, or asked me to go see Avatar with him, he just watched both for Top Gun and Maverick a couple days ago. He said Top Gun, the first one, he's like, it is trash. The movie is garbage. It was not a good movie. It was felt like stock footage, like it was just bleh. I'm like, I get that. Okay, I get your point of view, but when you're a kid and you're seeing it for the first time when the movie's brand new, well, obviously not brand new because it came out in '86, and I think I was probably like 10 or 11 when I first saw it, which puts it '90s. Um, it's amazing, right? And I don't care what it is. Like for its time, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. When you
And
look at the timeline for that, yeah, but
yeah,
continue
and
story.
then he goes in, but the second one was sick, dude. The second one was dope. Like it looked amazing. It had all this great stuff. I'm like, bro, how you gonna come at me and tell me the second one was so much better than the first one when they were almost exactly the same movie?
Yeah.
Like legit, they had flight stuff was very similar.
Be
The fight
it
scenes were
comes
very
down
similar. The
to
premise was all very very similar. The school was very similar. The difference is the story of Maverick was basically a modern day Star Wars, and so it actually had a plot that it followed, and it had something that had to be done, and it had to be done right, and there was malfunctions. So it's
yeah.
basically a modern day Star Wars, but it was almost the same movie, and it was so much better. That just tells me that you were on this page. This guy, not you, but the guy, he was on
Yeah.
this page of the footage and the filmography and all that stuff. That's what he hated. Had nothing to do with the movie, all with the modern day
He
stuff
was
at the time.
my so from what you just told me, he is very much this kind of individual that looks at the film and doesn't go into it with the idea of, "I wanna be entertained, I wanna enjoy this, I wanna leave feeling like my money was well spent."
Yeah,
That is my caliber for, "Was it worth the money I spent? Not." That's my
yeah,
that's my gauge.
yeah,
For me, Maverick was worth it. Top Gun, back in the day, even now, it's still worth it. Does
yeah,
it have a great story, the first one? Fuck no. Anyone who says otherwise is lying their ass off. The first movie did not have a great story. There's a lot of like, "What's going on?" But still a good movie, still entertaining, still enjoyable. That's my barometer, you know?
yeah.
If it's
Exactly.
fun, if it's entertaining, I wanna go see it. If it's shit, I don't wanna bother with it.
So
That's
for me, Avatar by far was like I said, it was a very entertaining movie. It was just super
I know
good
it's
to
very
me.
long.
This one, the Way of the Water, it was very similar to the first one. You know, as you can tell, you had the same basic premise. There were parts in the movie that were just like, well, how does that work? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that part you don't know, they don't answer. But at the same time, you go back and you watch part one, and you'd be like, okay, maybe that's how it happened. So like, I'm not going to give anything away for those of you who haven't seen it, but that's like I had that cross my mind, and I
I
didn't think
heard there
about
was
it.
some plot holes in it, like some
Yeah, like
plot holes.
I didn't think about it until I went back and watched the first one. Okay, and then at the same time, there was a character within the second movie that just didn't make any sense because of the parent. Um, because you don't ever see that side of the story in the first one. So that's like whatever. But the story premise itself with the situations at hand were exactly what you would expect to happen in the real world today, and how they portrayed it was phenomenal. Like I would go see it again in theaters. Like my wife's like, I kind of want to see it, and I'm like, let's go. And that to you should say a lot, because I'm not the guy that's going to go out and watch another movie again and pay that
Oh,
money
yeah. I
again
know. I know.
unless I think it's worth it too.
Well, I can
And
say this much.
I'm willing to go again and see it.
I will say this. It's very unlikely I will be able to go see either movie in theaters before they come out on, like, some sort of streaming platform. I know Avatar is currently not slated to come on Disney Plus till, like, June or July, which is fine with me. I don't care. It's worth the wait. Um, but I really am tired of, when I ask someone like, "You gave me a good review of the film as far as I'm concerned." But when I ask coworkers if they liked something they went and saw, they go from being really cool people to snobby assholes, and I just wanna slap the shit out of them. It's like, I didn't ask about the cinematography. I didn't ask about the soundtrack. I didn't ask about this. I asked, "Did you like the film? Would you recommend it?" That's what I wanna know.
Yeah.
That's not the answer I get. I get, "Well, this was so horrible." I was like, "Shut the fuck up. That's not what I wanna hear."
Yeah.
So, it's like, I get
Was it
that
a crap
things
movie, or was it worth the money that you paid to go see it? Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I wanna know. And it's more important to me to know, like, "Hey, you'll go, you'll enjoy it. If you don't, My bad for recommending it, but I think you'll enjoy it. Like if I were to say something like to you, trying to think of something I've seen recently. Have you seen Dog, the
No,
one with Channing Tatum?
no.
That movie's got it's a good story. It's very funny. Kevin Nash has an appearance in the film. It's really good. It's a very fun, enjoyable story. You would probably enjoy it. It does it plays into the
I do
military side
want
of
to
things.
see it. I've
It's
seen the
on
trailers
I
for it.
it's on Paramount, I think, right now. I
Yeah,
highly recommend you check it out. It's definitely worth it. It's worth it. You won't regret spending the time to sit down and watch it
yeah,
for your Paramount subscription.
right.
But yeah, it's a good movie. I liked it. It's very chill. Um, but yeah, that's the kind of review I want from people when I ask, like, "What do you think of this?" Or "What
Yeah.
would you recommend?"
See, if you
It's usually
ask
the
me that
bare bones.
question, if you ask me that question about Ender's Game or
Okay.
Ready Player One, they would both get the same response. Was it a good movie? Yes. Did it hold up to the book? No. Are you comparing it to the book, or are you taking it as its own, it's a movie? Like, if you want to see the book on screen, don't go. If you want to see a good story, you'll enjoy the crap out of it. That's how I would word that. Like, if you want to see the book on screen, don't go, because it's not the book on screen. It is not what you're going to expect. You're not going to like it. If
Yeah,
you're willing to take that and set that aside and see how the producer portrayed their story of the book, you'll enjoy it. Both movies.
yeah,
And and that's how I view it, is everything I go watch, I want to see it for its entertainment value. I don't really give a crap about what the book was. Like, I want to know what I'm in this now. I'm not in that. I'm in this.
yeah. I knew. So Harry Potter came out. Just to bring this back around to what you were just saying, Harry Potter comes out in theaters, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna be so much like the book. It's gonna be great." And there was this line that was clearly drawn. There was one side of the audience that liked it, period, no asterisks, no nothing. And then there was the other side of the audience that was divvied up into groups because there are people that
Something wasn't right.
it wasn't a part of the book. That wasn't in the book or some bullshit. And it's like, look, you need to accept this. When one medium, a book, video game, whatever it may be, is taken and put into another medium, television series, a movie, whatever it may be, the person that is responsible for making this new version is going to take the inspiration and adapt it to tell this story.
Yeah.
If you don't like that, don't don't look at it.
Yeah. You're going to hate
Mario
it.
Brothers, Super Mario Brothers with fucking what's his name as the
Chris
voice of
Pratt.
Mario, Chris Pratt.
See, I'm
I
I'm
already know.
against I'm against it. I'm against it because the guy who plays the actual voice of Mario is available. So why not grab him? Because they have to have a big name to try to pull. No, you don't. It's Mario. That's what bothers
The
me
thing
about
is,
that.
though, here's the thing: no one has heard Chris Pratt's performance yet. In the
I've heard
trailers that have been,
clips.
I haven't, and I've heard
He
that
does
some
a
people
voice.
think
He doesn't sound like Chris Pratt, but it's not Mario. Like I said, for me, the voice of Mario is iconic, and he's available, and he wants to do it. Why wouldn't you go grab him? That's my issue. Yes, I'm gonna go see it because it's Mario, and I'm gonna enjoy it because I've enjoyed everything Mario.
the trailer alone, the
But
teaser alone, like that was it's a hell of a lot better than the Mario Brothers live action film that came out years ago.
yeah,
That movie, I still love that movie. I'm not going to deny it, but that
hey, they
movie,
had
holy
they had an
shit!
Italian guy playing Mario. That's what counted.
Yeah, but no, it's to me. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of my stomach. I'm hungry. We're probably going to end this soon. For me, I'm looking at it this way. I don't care. I enjoy the video games very much. So I yes, the iconic aspect of it, all that, I get that. I'm going because I want to see it, and I want to see if it's good or not. I'm not gonna listen to recommendations. I'm just gonna go see it on my own. I already
Yeah,
told my girlfriend, I was like, "You don't have to go with me to see this. I am gonna go, like, one day after work, especially if I get off early, and I'm gonna go watch it, unless it's later in the year, and then never mind." But I'm gonna go, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna pay my money, get my popcorn, get my soda, sit down, watch the movie, and if I like it, I will 100% recommend it to everybody and their mother. If I hate it, I will tell you just as much.
Yeah.
So, that's where I am with that, and I was thinking if there's anything coming out that I'm actually gonna go see in theaters, and I don't know because I would say Ant-Man and Wasp, but I don't know. Um, I can't honestly say I'm gonna go see that in theaters just yet. I don't know anything about it other than the title. I
Yeah.
know some of the characters in it, that's it, but I want to go see that Mario Brothers movie, and I'm gonna go see it. I was gonna do that for Avatar, and then I heard it was 3 hours long, and I'm like, "Fuck that." Like, I don't
It
wanna sit in the
doesn't
theater for 3 hours long.
I say it doesn't feel like 3 hours. I'll tell you that. I
If
did
it
not
streams
realize that
that
the
well,
3 hours. I did not realize the 3 hours went by.
yeah. Well, we'll see. I might if I can, I'll try and check it out sometime soon because 'cause I've got some days coming up that
You
I get
remember
off
when Lord of
real
the Rings
fucking
came out?
yeah, I was working at the theater when it came
I
out.
was I was what, 19, maybe 20, maybe
Lord of
18.
the
I don't
Rings came
know.
out in 2000, I think it was. Yeah, you were like 19.
So when it came out, I had never really cursed around my dad other than the
I
point
remember
where he
you've
woke
told the
me up
story
by pouring
before.
water in my ear. Yeah. So when Lord of the Rings finished, I was legit on the edge of my seat and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And he's like, you want to sit through another 3 hours? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like that story was so intense and so drawn in. I thought it was only on for like a half hour. Like, you know what I mean? A 3 hour movie. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
So yeah, that is the only thing that's hesitating, like causing me hesitation to go see Avatar is that it's
the
3
time.
hours and I'm like, yeah.
It
Like,
doesn't feel like it though. So I mean, there's that. I'll tell you that straight
well,
up. It does
I
not feel like
will
3 hours.
if I go see it sometime soon, I'll let you know. We'll touch back on this again if, in a couple weeks if I get to go see it. But I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna be able to because with money being so tight, it's like, yeah, I gotta handle this. Like, I've gotta get down there. I've gotta deal with that storage locker.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, if we weren't paying $550 a month for our storage locker and I had that money free right now, like right this second, I'd be a lot happier. I was supposed to go up there in October, but ticket prices were like were absolutely insane. And they're just as bad now. The
yeah,
difference is I don't have Christmas looming anymore like I
yeah.
did back then. So I can kind of say, yeah, I really need to go deal with this. And we got a small other influx of money. So I should be able to get there no matter what and take care of this and get that money back in our pockets. Cause yeah, it's no, I'm tired of paying that. So yeah. But that's gonna do it for us today, you guys. We will be back next week, hopefully at our normal time. For those of you that are curious what time that is, we go live every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. At least
When
we're
it works
supposed
out.
to. When everything works out as scheduled and my computer doesn't totally take a crap on me like it did today. Um, but yeah, every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, we are live with another episode. And next week won't be so bouncy around. I have some things I want to talk about next week. So come back, hang out, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, let us know in the comments. We'll see you guys next week. Until next time, adios.